Hello and welcome to your twin flame reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine and the current union energy going on between you and your beloved twin flame. And hopefully you're feeling that way about them, but no matter how you're feeling about your twin flame, you can always come back to center and come back to just love itself. And so that's a really powerful, empowering thing to be able to do. So yeah, today I have Crystal Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. And I also have one card for the Union card, kind of related. It's going to be related more to your abundance and life purpose. We'll see what it is. You know, I know I've pulled this card before, but I don't know what it says just from looking at the back of it. So it'll be a surprise for all of us. So we'll save this card for last in the reading. And did I say, no, that it's from Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. So yeah, and you may know him from The Secret if you've ever seen that, and if not, I really highly recommend it. And it's a very easy thing to kind of recommend to other people who, you know, want like a easy introduction into the law of attraction and self-love and stuff like that. So we're going to start with the Divine Feminine card today. I have some nice rose quartz, very heart opening, heart balancing, and high heart too, harmonizing crystal. And so we have the Divine Feminine, and we have yellow jasper control issues. Speaking of control issues, I'm going to move this candle. But no, that's actually like asserting something. If I left it there, you know, like, and it was feeling uncomfortable because I'm not sure if I'm like too close to it, if it's going to get too close to the card, that doesn't feel good, right? So it's about like feeling into when it feels best to act and just acting from a place of loving yourself. Like what's in your highest interest, and do that. And sometimes doing just means inner work too. Like doing doesn't necessarily mean action in the way that you automatically probably think of the, you know, what the word action means. But I mean, the truth is you're always acting, right? And speaking of which, when you put energy into control, which feels bad, you are acting, you're investing in something that is tying you down, and it's taking from you. It's a pattern that doesn't serve you. So when you release control, and when you're able to trust love within you, to trust source, you free up a lot of energy because you're walking in faith. You're trusting and surrendering rather than resisting and controlling. And resisting and controlling are huge energy suckers, like vacuums. And also, you know, if you have any trauma, look out for that, and look at, you know, honestly, if you're really healing through it, because I always link in my videos the mind alignment process. You might want to check that out if you're if you're experiencing trauma that just doesn't feel like maybe you can bring a voice to it, or that you can't heal it, because a lot of it is also even just being able to really look at, you know, your trauma peacefully. And when you're holding on to it, you're almost, you know, you're hiding it, trying to protect it in some way. You're controlling, you know, you're controlling yourself, and it's not compassionate. So just invite you to make a new choice there. And it does take a lot. It takes a lot of foundation psychologically, and just of, you know, of peace, which you always have access to though. And because you may have built up like a lot of what you thought was like a support system or foundation around patterns and behaviors that do like involve abuse. I mean, I'm just looking at this card, and it's so interesting because there's all of these like, you know, little squiggly lines and stuff, and in a way it's really beautiful, but in a way it does kind of look like there's, you know, there's kind of some control going on there that can be let go of, right? Like you can kind of really just see that in the card. It's a very interesting depiction of yellow jasper. I really like it because I think it just really it really takes you where you need to go to really kind of, look at this honestly within yourself. But just my point is though to not be afraid of, it's funny, I kind of stuttered there. To not be afraid of releasing those patterns and thinking, oh, well, then I won't have any, ground to stand on, so to speak. That's not true. You probably just ground more deeply into the truth and feel a lot better. But of course, along the way, you might feel like you're having a setback, but you're actually really not having a setback when you're actively choosing to heal and you're loving yourself. Then how, where's the setback there? So you always want to really be looking that honestly, because you're going to be taken more deeply into places where you can love yourself, and that's a gift. And then, as you really heal deeply, you will attract what it is you desire, because there is the desire realized. When you have the desire must be realized somehow. And perhaps you're not completely clear on your desire, even though you think you are, and perhaps you're totally clear on it. And either way, as you get clear, you will find it in your reality as you heal through to vibrating with love by clearing separation using the mirror exercise. So yes, utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. Very good. So move on to the Divine Masculine's card. And your card, Divine Masculine, is clear quartz. It's nice. We had rose quartz over here. And let yourself feel all your emotions. So your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. So this feels nice and balancing, like as the Divine Feminine is able to release control, your one consciousness, it really does free up energy on both sides to completely feel through everything. But the Divine Masculine is more focused on this right now and really just feeling everything, just like this card says. And then when you actually choose to feel your feelings and go more deeply into them and not be afraid that they're gonna hurt you, that what you feel isn't true, that you can't trust how you actually feel, you're gonna find guidance. You're gonna feel a lot better, and that's because your feelings are true. It doesn't mean that you feel sad. So the truth is that you're sad. But it means that there is something that your feelings are guiding you perfectly to when you really are able to feel that through that sadness and heal it using the mirror exercise, and by loving yourself in that particular place within, then you're able to experience more peace and love in that very same place, because you've brought awareness, you've brought the love needed in that place that felt separate or bad from you, which isn't the truth. But yeah, you just can't be afraid to feel things. And if you don't trust what you feel, I just invite you to look more deeply at that, because maybe you have some trauma there. Maybe you're not rooting down in your high chakras too much too. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be in your high chakras at all. It just means that you do need to sometimes really ground and allow your feelings to feel really expansive, and not to feel numbed out to them or feel afraid of feeling them or whatever it is. And even something that feels unpleasant is still very worth feeling through. It's kind of like that initial hard work you have to do sometimes to realize a dream. Like, building the home of your dreams, for instance, is not going to be like the easiest task, probably. I mean, probably going to help building that home of your dreams, but nonetheless, like, it's just like it's a thing, you know, to feel your emotions. It does. It requires energy to do that. But just know that it's not taking from you. In truth, you're actually really aligning yourself to love, and source is your source of energy. So you don't need to generate, you know, from like yourself energy to feel your feelings with. So you're not actually doing anything except for just flowing, you know, really by feeling through everything. And the last thing I wanted to mention is upheaval. So when you do the mirror exercise, when you love yourself in a place, well, that bad, you know, pattern or whatever you want to say, however you experienced it, maybe control, is gonna leave. It's gonna leave you. What I notice, you know, a lot of times is something leaving me like that through my crown chakra, like up and out, like almost feels like the divine hand is just like pulling it out or something. And so that's really cool. And when you open up your crown chakra, and you don't really need to like do anything to do this, but when you're aware of that process, you can just allow it to open to the extent that it needs to, you know, have that effective and efficient upheaval, rather than trying to control, you know, how much your crown chakra is opening or closing at any given time, because then you might experience, you know, pressure there. And I mean, this is not medical advice, so yeah, go see a doctor if you have like, you know, a headache or whatever, but you get what I'm saying, hopefully. And yeah, what I wanted to, so I also wanted to say that then in return, sometimes you do get a download, like in that place where there was that pattern and your crown chakra's open, you might also get new divine like informations or feelings that you're just kind of suddenly aware of, and that can also be really nice when you do, right? And so you can't control upheaval is the point, but you can just choose to like flow with it and to take care of yourself, just to love yourself through it basically, and to not worry about it. Like you might feel something for a little while, like, oh, you know, what was that it's just like spiritual detox. It's like something that was in you that was not serving you needs to leave now. So you don't really need to do anything about it. It will just leave you naturally when you heal. But if you don't feel triggered by anything, but you don't feel very good, that's oftentimes upheaval. And if you feel triggered, like you feel an upset, then that is probably an upset that you can use the mirror exercise for. So you'll just come to learn the difference, but I felt called to say that, so hopefully that's helpful to you right now, to just hear either that for the first time or hear it as a reminder. You might have already heard it several times, but sometimes it just helps to hear it one more time. So now we're gonna go to the middle card. And ooh, I like these colors, green and pink, so pretty. Question: what do rich folk daydream and visualize about? Answer: yeah, whatever they want. Question: and what do poor folk daydream and visualize about? Answer: yeah, whatever they want. You're coming along so quickly, the universe. This card reminds me of, I think that movie is called The Little Princess with Shirley Temple. I don't know if there's other versions of it or where the story originates from, because I've really only seen that movie as a kid. But in the movie, you know, there's all of a sudden this whole spread of like amazing food. Like she's at a banquet, and and then something happens where, you know, I don't remember if it's like a dream or she like it's like there's some kind of consequence for having this this desire for, you know, really like for her paying attention to her desire to feel like a princess, you know, and to eat well and everything. And in the end, like she is, you know, everything turns out pretty well for her, but she has to really go through this journey and you know, just kind of love herself through it. from what I remember. I've not seen this movie in a long time, but it really, there's just something that came up when I read this card, about like poor folk daydreaming. Well, you can still experience that vibration of wealth within, and that does help to attract it to you. But yes, you're going to also maybe experience upsets in your reality when you do attune yourself to that, because you need to uproot the poverty consciousness or the patterns that are in your way. And so it's kind of like the hero's journey, like it's just like you go after what's gonna serve you best, because when you're served, everyone is served. When you're truly served and when you're choosing to also serve, right? You need to be supported in doing that. But if you're not experiencing support, and this doesn't necessarily, of course, relate to finances. I know that this says rich and poor, but you can be financially rich too and still somehow experience a very poor life. So if there's anything though that resonates with that vibration of wealth within you, either way, that you aren't seeing manifest in your reality, well, do not discard it. Please do not do that. Please really just love yourself there, and pay attention to the things that you're telling yourself about that vibration that you do feel within, and know that that is yours, that that's not separate from you. So you're just going to use the mirror exercise like any other thing that any other part of your reality that's feeling upsetting, and you will heal through that just in your perfect way, right? Like, not everyone is going to have the same level of wealth, and again, wealth can mean different things, but that you're gonna have what's best for you personally to live your life purpose and to be fully supported in your harmonious twin flame union. And that could look like a little home in the woods, and everything you need, of course, like no lack, but like it could be something like that, or it could be, of course, like a huge grand palace or mansion or whatever, anything in between. But you can start by going after what it is you desire, by maybe do a vision board, just like the basic things. Visualize, go on the internet, do some research, or just think about what it is that you like and what you want to experience. And the point of doing this activity is to not shy away from your desires and be like, well, it's okay if I just have sort of what I want in life. And essentially, that settling energy is not putting out a very strong, attractive, so to speak, signal to the universe. But when you really recognize what it is you desire, and you just choose that within, you choose that good feeling, and to really clear anything that's in the way of that vibration, that feeling within, then you're gonna get there. And maybe it won't look like how you visualized it, but the truth of your desire will be revealed to you. I don't know, I like the word revealed, it's a fun word. So that feels complete, that feels good. And you can look at the back of the card one more time for just maybe a little last reminder of what this card is about. And you could see, is the sun rising or is it setting? Well, it's all one beautiful cycle, and that's the thing. Life is eternal. And so as you clear your vibration, just know that if you're really doing it from an inner, true place within, and you're working hard to create something eternal, not just to make money fast or whatever it is, but something deeper than that. And not saying you can't increase your finances efficiently and quickly, But it's just about that, that awareness of your intention. And this is an investment into your eternal being, to really choose this for yourself. Because then you don't have to experience the contrast anymore, really, ever again. So, and as you do that, you're really you're healing the one consciousness, not just for your twin flame union, but for everyone. So then you're inviting more people to do the same. And, that's like a ripple effect. So that's pretty cool. And that's what we want, right? Like we want the people around us to be happy and feel abundant too. We don't want to be the only ones, and somehow think that that is what abundance is having more than someone else. That's definitely not it, right? So, cool. Well, I just love all these. I'm gonna take a moment to appreciate these pretty rocks before we go. Okay, cool. So, definitely like and share. Check out the links below if you're interested in a reading or working with me or any other resources. Just check them out and take care, and I will see you again soon for another reading. Bye.